Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. My God, good. I could expect 100% attendance today. That's really amazing. Fantastic. First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for coming in today in this amazing workshop. Other participants are on their way, but okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right. First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for coming and tuning in. Today, the workshop that we are going to have, it is very close to me. The topic which we are going to discuss on today, it is something which, if you could understand in your life, it is going to give you an edge in every aspect. Let's understand what the topic is all about. Then I will introduce you to the speaker because the speaker is going to speak about it. Leadership. My God, leadership. शिप देखा है आप लोगों ने? शिप एक जगह से दूसरे जगह कैसे जाता है? कौन चलाता है? कैप्टन. The same way, it is our life, and we have to lead our life very nicely, to which the only way to do it is to become the leader of your life, leader of our life. That's why we call it leadership. लीडर के साथ हमेशा शिप क्यों लगाते हैं? This is the only reason, leadership. And that is what we are going to do today. And believe me, if you have the ability and if you are a leader, then you are going to lead anywhere and everywhere. So let me introduce the speaker of the day. Today, the speaker who is going to speak, she is among the first ladies who has joined us, who started giving workshops, who started presentations. Not only she's a great speaker, she's a writer, she's an author of upcoming books. Very soon you will have her books on your hand. Yes, she's working on her writings. And not only that, she's an entrepreneur, she's a businesswoman, she's an experienced lady. But the most important and good thing about her is that she always pays gratitude for what she has. And she loves to help people. That's why she chose to help all of you with today's topic, leadership, which though is a complicated topic, but she is going to make it very easy for you. So without any further ado, let me invite the speaker, the lady who is very close to my heart, to the heart of English Times, and definitely she has all the abilities to make you an effective leader. I met her last year in the month of March, and since then only I could see that glare, that glimpse in her eyes of a leader. So let me invite the speaker of the day, who is none other than Miss Anju. Miss Anju, thank you so much. I would like you to please come on stage and take the charge. Every single person is waiting for you. So Miss Anju, thank you so much for coming in. Now the stage is yours. I will keep my mouth shut as you are a leader. Thank you so much, Miss Anju.
Thank you very much, Arindam sir, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And believe me, my dear friends, that today I have decided that we all are going to be a good leaders. And we will not lead our life perfectly and nicely, but we will contribute ourselves in leading the society in an organized way. As this is a very true thing that नेतृत्व की क्षमता लक्ष्य की विशालता को कम कर देती है. As mission impossible can be achieved by perfect mentorship and by effective leadership. Leadership has that charisma in itself. For understanding the relevancy of this workshop, we all try to understand that why leaders arises. So, my dear friends, in my opinion, Lord Krishna is the best leader ever of this universe. But why leaders arises in the world, that is, for that I must say that the world have lot of problems to solve and a lot of targets to crack. So few of them can be solved individually, cracked separately, but many of them are needed to be solved by any wise supervision and guidance. So that crave of world creates leader. So let's talk about its definition. So if I dig deep, then I found that its spelling has its wonderful meaning. And it is clearly mentioned in the PPT that it's every single letter has its powerful meaning. So its concrete definition is hidden in its spelling. So which I'm going to share with you all. So my dear friends, leader is a person who leads with love and loyalty and with leniency accordingly, empowers and energizes to the community for attaining any common ambition by directing its disciples and by encouraging them religiously and regularly. And this is the complete definition of a leader or leadership. First of all, I want to make it clear that leader and leadership both are the same things. Which activity a leader does, that is known as leadership. So, and if I talk about its bookish definition, then leader is a influential person who motivates a group of people to attain any common goal. He mobilizes the crowd for accomplishing any particular goal. This is the bookish definition of leader. By the way, leaders become popular and lovable leaders just because of their effect, not by their affect, as they stays in followers' heart. So for that, they should have some specific qualities, which I'm going to share with you all. So can I have that slide, please? So slide number 3, I think. Another slide. Another, yeah, okay. So the important qualities which a leader should have to hold. So I think there is, you have to show slide number 3. Slide number 3, yeah. So vision. Vision is something which a leader should have to have, as our late president, Honorable Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, has said it very clearly that without keeping a proper vision, no one is leader. Vision about the assets which could made them able to crack the target. For that, a leader is pursuing and the skill set which is required for achieving that particular goal. For that, he or she is doing leadership. And so vision is something which we create a perception for achieving something for which we target exactly. As we can take an example of our honorable prime minister Mr. Narendra Modi, as he has developed a vision that our country could get a honorable respect on the global map, and he worked for it. He works for it very hard, and he makes his policies in a way that our country can get respect, and it is happening just because of his vision. So vision is very important characteristic of a leader. And second, let's understand about integrity. Integrity is one of the wonderful human traits. So integrity is something about internal honesty and internal consistency. And this is the quality which create credibility in a leader and in his leadership as well, so that follower could trust on him or her and could accept his or her roadmap, and they could move forward on that roadmap which he or she has shown to follow them. So integrity is another very important quality. And let's talk about self-awareness. And that self-awareness about the potential of a leader itself. And this is very important for a leader, that he or she should be aware about his or her weaknesses and strength. Accordingly, he or she would do promises, because beyond the capacity no one can fulfill the promises, and fake promises always destroy the aura, charisma of any one personality. So when anyone want to become leader, so first that person should have to clearly try to know their strength and weaknesses. According to that, she or he should do promises with the crowd, with the community, and for which he's going to lead. And effective communication. So, my dear friend, as we all are in the platform of communications, we all are learning in the platform of communication, and we all are working hard for improving our communication and speaking abilities. So, we know the power of communication. My dear friend, communication creates charisma, and charisma creates followers. And without having followers, no one is leader, and there is nothing about leadership. So effective communication is something which keep closer to the leader, to his or her goal. And suppose we can take an example of corporate world. And as any CEO, any director, any team leader has to crack any deal with another company. So, and they have to get some any type of favor in the hell in the favor of that particular company. Then the on the basis of effective communication, that that person will able to crack the deal. So no one can deny the charisma of communication. So a leader should have to have effective communication, as due to his or her oratory, he or she can put their thoughts in front of public, in front of community, that he or she really willing to improve their condition. He or she is really empathetic for the situation, and about his or her ability, he or she has that potential to help them. Then the followers will believe in his credibility, in his or her capacity, and will hand over the charge to lead them. So communication is very, very important thing. So, and the next point which is about a leader should be motivator, stimulus, and creator. So here I would love to say that motivator in the sense that a leader should present himself or herself in front of followers that they could accept him or her as their role model, like he or she just on the basis of his or her honesty, consistency, selflessness, hard work, presence of mind, and being focused towards the goal. They should present in such a way that followers or community could accept that person as a motivator. So in this way, leader a leader becomes a stimulus itself, and he creates many more other leaders, because only one person is not enough to help the world, because he or she has to create many more leaders to help people, to help community. So this is and here we can take the example of Chanakya, who is one of the best leaders ever in the world. He, just because of his motivation, he converted a simple boy into a great emperor who founded a great dynasty which is known as Maurya dynasty. So this is the power of motivation and being stimulus, and in this way he can create so many charismatic personalities in the world, in the society. So this is all about the quality of a leader. So when a person who holds these divine qualities, so this divinity when comes out to take charge of someone's life, so he is known as leader. And because leader is someone who works for changing others' life, for changing others' condition, he works always for the welfare. That's why he is a ray of divinity. But after holding these all divine qualities, a leader should have to follow some principles. Only following these principles, a leader can be lovable and unforgettable. If we will go through about the journey of all legendary leaders, then we will get to know that they all followed the same principles for their leadership. Can we have the another slide number 4? In the principles, lead by relatable examples. So examples are something which directly hits anyone's subconscious mind, and the person awakes suddenly and try to move forward. Suppose if any community is not focused properly and not working actively and feeling little low, and in that low esteemed condition no one can deliver their best. So in that case, this is the responsibility of leader, that he or she can present some this type of motivational examples, like Arunima Sinha, Muniba Mazari. These all are the legendary personalities. If we go through their journey, then we should accept that saying that खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना, खुदा पूछे बता बंदे आखिर तेरी रजा क्या है. And you will see the result. Then suddenly the crowd will feel themselves quite energetic, quite encouraged. And after that, you can, for making some delightful atmosphere, you all, if you are a leader, you could use this music like koi humse jeet na pae, badhe chalo. And this type of things are very, very effective for motivating people for achieving goals. And for some making some delightful environment, you can use these dialogues like हार कर जीतने वाले को ही बाजीगर कहते हैं. These are the few things when any leader would use in his or her leadership, then believe me, followers will love him or her, and the leader will get placed in their hearts. So leading through example is a very important principle. So it is, leadership is about the people. Leadership, leader is not a lord. He is a public lover. When any person will do leadership for the people, then he would be loved, then he would be respected by the followers, by the people. And for he or she should keep all the things in his or her mind, that his or her all actions should be for the welfare of the community, for the betterment of the people with whom he or she is associated. And so focus on change. Focus is something that as leaders should believe in the theory of evolution, because evolution is something which which promotes to accept the changes, as according to the target, which tactics are required, the leader should accept that techniques, and which policies or which strategies are not working, the leader should try to leave those all policies and those all strategies, and should try to accept new ways, new path to achieve the target of that particular community. And so be human and about and to accept the mistakes. As we have, as I have shared with you all, that leader should hold so many divine qualities. But it doesn't mean that he is not a human. He or she is still a human, and human can do mistakes. So, and doing mistake is not a bad thing, but not accepting the mistake is the biggest blunder. But in leadership, a leader should always be ready to accept his or her mistakes, and should try to assure public for new restart with new techniques, with new policies. So no one will feel offended, and he or she should deeply believe in humanity and in compassionate mindset. And so understand the value of listening. Listening is an art. When we listen someone carefully, then unknowingly we gather so many new inputs, we get so many new insights. And so, and again I would say that leader is not a lord, he is a public lover. And for that, he or she has to listen the public, and he or she has to accept their perspectives, and after that taking all perspectives, he or she will create his own perspective and will give that type of decision which would be fruitful for cracking that goal or for achieving that mission. So this is all about. So let's promote diversity. A leader is a public figure. So leadership should be rational, but not should be racist. Even it should not be obsessed with any taste and any is. He or she should always keep open the door for all class, for all creeds, and for everyone from the world. From across the world, anyone can join his or her party and could serve his or her inputs to the party for the society's welfare. So he or she should always try to promote diversity. And this is the thing that work together to achieve more and more. Yes, this is very, very true, because this is the theory that 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. And when we work together, then our confidence, our inputs become multiplied. And in a multiplied way, when we work for accomplishing something, for achieving our mission, then definitely we are going to success, and we would achieve much and much, and we will work at our level best for the societies, for the communities' welfare. So these are the few principles which every leader should have to follow, and all great leaders had followed it wholeheartedly. So can I have another slide? Okay, leaders around us. So when we take birth and till our whole life, we are surrounded with so many leaders, but we don't care about them. As we can see that our parents are our first leaders who works wholeheartedly in our upbringing. They give their best selflessly. They guide us, they motivate us, they encourage us for doing good, for achieving best. They they put their complete heart and soul in our upbringing. In the same way, in society, we can say that there are number of associations, there are number of NGOs which work wholeheartedly for the society's welfare, for the community's welfare. So these are the leaders who are working selflessly. So these are the things. And in the schools, we can see that our teachers, our principals, our class monitors, and when we all students were divided into groups, then group leaders, they all are our leaders, because they were guiding us, they were supervising us, and still they are doing this. So these are the leaders. And in the country, all political parties, public figure, they all are leaders. But here the point comes that when these leaders will follow the principle of leadership, then it would work effectively. But if they don't follow the principles of leadership, then it wouldn't work. So this is my urge to all leaders: kindly be human and work according to the principles. So here the point comes that why we need leaders. Here I would, we all would understand it by taking our own examples. We all peers were someone who are seeking help for improving our communication, for grooming our personality. We were in scattered situations, but suddenly we got a platform and we got a leader in the form of Mr. Arindam Shah, who was quite focused, who has a vision to bring sudden specular change in our personalities, in our speaking. And he works hard in developing our skill set that is called leader. This is the need that we should be surrounded with the leader, and we are surrounded with the leader. So these are the things that why leadership is required. So, can I have another slide? Yeah, I have done with this slide. Can I have another slide? Okay. Positional versus personal power. This is the spine of leadership skill. Positional versus personal power. In this situation, to understand this point, we can take a very genuine example, that is Mahatma Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi is a positional leader, but Mahatma Gandhi was a leader just because of his personal power. Still, he is staying in our heart. He is father of nation. In the same way, we can take the example of Akhilesh Yadav, Aditya Thackeray. They all are positional leaders. But on the other hand, our freedom fighters, and there are several leaders. World is filled with so many legendary leaders which are still unforgettable for their compassion, for their empathy, for their work. And as we can take the example, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and many more example we can take from the from the history, world history. And recently we can take the example of our honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, who just because of his personal power, he is ruling in several hearts. And he doesn't get any legacy, but still he's ruling over the heart. So leaders are leaders just because of their personal powers. And in this case, then personal power means when the person becomes quite empathetic, quite sensitive towards the other's problem. When someone genuinely try to put themselves in other shoes, when someone genuinely feels sensitivity towards anyone's problem or towards anyone miseries or adversity, and try to work harder, then he or she creates a credibility, and he or she gets followers, and then his or her leadership brings sudden change, and we feel that we handed over in any genuine hands our leadership, and then we experience our welfare, our good survival. Here, I will love to share one example of Aung San Suu Kyi. She worked very hard for human rights. She felt it with great sensitivity, their torture just because of dictatorship. So, and she fought genuinely, and then she won the right, and she got so many prizes, Nobel Peace Prize, and so on and so on. So this is the thing. Empathy is one of the most essential qualities for a leader, for a leadership, for a leadership skill. So can I have the another slide? So, but there are some work ethics for a leader, for the leadership skill, which are like support. Support is something, and this is the responsibility of a good leader, that he or she should create an atmosphere, an environment where each other could help each other by developing their skills, by creating the situation where the target could be beat out easily and effectively. So the leader should be supportive for the other members, for the followers, as well as other members should be supportive for each other as well. They should not try to pull down. They should all try to give positive feedback, and if it is necessary, then everyone should be ready for the negative feedback as well. So this is the charisma of support, and when a party would be supportive for each other, then the target could be cracked so easily. And if I talk about the encouragement, so encouragement is something when someone would be encouraged by his or her leader, then believe me, dopamine will increase, and in our pleasantry state, we all deliver our best. So encouragement always works like a pill. So every leader should use the encouragement all the time. And so when people will be encouraged by their leader, then they will deliver their best, and will feel pleasant, and will be ready to work for him or for her all the time, willingly, without any force. So, and ability of delegate. So one man army can't meet any meaningful target, because always some meaningful target are quite tedious. So for that, a leader needs some help. So for that, this is the capability of a leader, that he or she should use his or her decision-making power, and should focus or analyze about the people with whom he or she is surrounded, and try to delegate responsibility according to their potential. And when they all would feel themselves responsible, directly responsible for achieving the goal, then definitely the goal would be achieved in a very effective way, and it would bring a specular change. And my dear friends, here I would love to mention that leadership is a responsibility. And when the leader develops this type of environment, that every follower, all members should feel for attaining the goal is their direct responsibility, then that leadership would be perfect leadership. As we can say that our leader, Mr. Arindam Sa, does really well, because he is organizing workshops, he is organizing econ club activity, because he want to create so many more other leaders for helping the world, for helping the people surrounded us. So this is the thing, ability of delegation. And gratitude. Gratitude, I would say that it is the greatest attitude. So when a leader will show his or her greatest attitude in the form of gratitude, then other people will be feel themselves quite honored. And in that case, every time they would love to help that leader, and they would cooperate him or her in his or her all policies, all strategies, and they will further commit to help with him or her. They would love to connect it with that leader. So in leadership quality, being grateful is one of the most important qualities, and recognition and reward. Reward is not something which should be very expensive, because reward means appreciation, and it is not necessary that it should be very costly and it should be very expensive. If someone praises anyone in front of others, this is the best gift for everyone. Letter of recommendation and praising someone is the best gift. And being a leader, everyone should try to adopt this work ethic. As in corporate, there is a culture of appraisal, promotion, and incentives, but this is not necessary, because praising is the best thing. And so now I would love to say that we have gone through from the content, and we have learned a lot about leadership skill. So here I would, while I'm going to sum up the speech, so or workshop, so I got insight that if we all will try to develop ourselves as a leader of our own, if we all will monitor our own activities, we all will develop a vision, we all would work selflessly, and we all would be self-aware for our growth, for our evolution, and we all will directly feel ourselves responsible for the society, for the community. And according to this vision, when being empathetic and sensitive to for others, when in this way, when we will become our own leaders, then just imagine that that imagination of paradise would be on earth. Then which ideal society, which we are just imagine in our dreams, could happen on this planet, and this planet will be the better place to live. So thank you very much, everyone. Now this is the time for Q&A session.
First of all, thank you so much, Ms. Anju. I would like to thank you for your amazing content. Through your content, I realized that leadership is all about captivating the audience through your words, which absolutely you did today. The participants who joined us from the beginning, they have been with us and they are still with us. And some realizations I had, in fact, I have not had, I have today is a leader is someone who knows the way, who goes the way, and who shows the way. And leadership is actually the highest potential of your true self. If you really want to become a leader, just become a better version of yourself and you can be the leader. And this is what I have gained from today's workshop. And it is a really impeccable and an amazing workshop. And I would like to thank all of you to stay till the end. And the workshop, the lessons which Miss Anju shared, what I truly believe is that if we take even single point and apply in our life, then definitely we can also become the leader. And let me tell you one thing, we all have gathered over here with one goal, that is to become an effective communicator. And as there is a saying, that a leader is somebody who always communicates effectively, like Miss Anju did today. Now the platform is open for Q&A. If you have any concerns, any doubt, you can ask Miss Anju, because believe me, you are going to get the relevant answers. And if you would like to share your opinion, your feedback, you are most welcome doing that too. Yes. If anyone has any question, you could just unmute your audio and you could ask. Okay. Let me invite Mr. Amandeep. Amandeep, I would like to invite you. Can you hear me, Amandeep? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Amandeep. So, Amandeep, at first, we would like to know from you that how was the workshop and what are your takeaways?
Workshop was really excellent. Actually, I have some questions.
Sure.
My question is that um, can I, add politics with leadership, if you don't mind?
Sure, you can, Amandeep. Sure.
So my question was that nowadays good people, like honest people, good people don't want to go in politics, and we says that uh, our leaders of country, like politicians, are not doing great. So what do you think, what should we do to encourage people, like honest people, educated people, to go in politics, so that our country should uh, boost, we should boost our economy, and so on. So what should we do to encourage people to go in politics?
Okay. All right, Amandeep, thank you very much for asking this lovely question. So here I would say that this is the downfall of moral values. And it is happening just because we are not believing in humanity and humanity as well. So these workshop should be conducted frequently so that a new group could be created for participating in politics. And as we can say that Kali Yuga has come, and people are deteriorating their personalities day by day. But if these sessions would be frequent, and this type of vibes would be created in the society, then somehow the value which are decreasing day by day in others, in everyone's personality, they can be restored by awakening people through these things like new this type of media, this type of sessions, these type of publications should work on this in this field. So we can think about it that it might happen. So
Yeah, actually, you beautifully added this session with my question. So that part was really great.
And this is what leadership is all about, right? When we actually influence people to listen to us. Very nice. So Miss Anju is not only speaking about it, but she is demonstrating us about the topic as well. So now, Mr. Gaurav, I would like to have you, and I would like you to speak about your realizations from this session. Yes, Mr. Gaurav. Gaurav Sinha.
Hi, ma'am. It was a wonderful session and I enjoyed thoroughly. I have one question uh, that actually I like to see all the topics from both sides. So, sometimes I think the leadership is not always needed. It is, in fact, for example, some people have their follower characteristics. for example, some people are expertise in some expert in some domain, and they are self-driven. So so it is right that that leadership is not needed always, or it all it is needed always. I want to ask that.
Yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. So, while I was while I was ending the workshop, I mentioned it very clearly that if we all would be our own leaders,
Right,
when
right,
we all would monitor our own activities, when we all will focus upon our own personality, upon our own grooming, when we all will make a single goal, that is that we have to develop ourselves in a very organized way, and when every single unit of the society would develop themselves in such a way, and every single person would be their own leaders, then just imagine that there is no need of having leadership of others when we would be our own leader. This is the best thing, and if you have, then you should go ahead with that. All the best.
right. It is very nice idea, man. Great.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gaurav. And yes, Miss Mona Lisa. Now, since Miss Mona Lisa is also considered to be an effective leader, so yes, Miss Mona Lisa, we would like to know your point of view as well. How did you find the session, and do you have anything which you would like to share with Miss Anju?
Yes, sir. I really love the session, and I really love the way Miss Anju used to speak. And a caring attitude I can mark when I used to speak to her, and when I used to listen to her. And today's workshop was really a masterpiece. And I will really apply. And I have a bitter experience with attached with leadership also. I really want to share that, and I want the clarification for that too from. Anju ma'am. So actually, I was working as a tutor, but my director, what he did, he made me the principal of the institution. So I have to handle so many staffs, but I don't know the perfect procedure to handle. But what I did was I was so honest with everyone. I was so cool to everyone. Actually, I was very friendly with each and everyone. But the outcome was that my work was going very well, very fine, but gradually my staffs what they did to me is that they started being like friends to me and they didn't obey my what I used to say. Finally what they will do, okay ma'am, we will do it, but for so many long time they will just keep the work pending. So in that situation, if I will be tough to them, then also I was facing problem. If I am cool to them, then that too also led so many problematic situations for me. So how should be my personality that I can tackle everyone?
Okay, Mona Lisa, thank you very much. Yeah, you said it very correctly. But as in my definition, which I created with its letters, so I mentioned it very clearly that a leader is a person who leads a crowd with love, with loyalty, and with leniency accordingly. So this is the time, this time is Kalkyug. Being too much honest is really very, sometimes it becomes like hazardous for us as well, because I am the same type of person. So it
Yeah,
is,
it already became hazardous for me.
yeah, I understand, Mona Lisa. So I am quite empathetic with you as well. So actually, we should develop a vision that which type of crowd we are going to handle. If the everyone is sincere, if everyone is taking their own responsibility, then it's okay. We should work according the all human traits which we have already. But if the crowd is not up to the mark, then we should adopt all the Kalyugi, formulas, and we should deal with them like and so that uh, if you remember that in Ramayana, that Bhaibin ho in a preet.
Mm.
So we should sometimes we should take actions dreadfully. We should try to deal the crowd by using some dreadful actions. So it is also needed sometime, and you should try to delegate the responsibilities to those people who were not cooperating you, and that tedious responsibility when they will get, or they will be allotted, then definitely they could feel your pain, your problem, and your your which tedious activity atmosphere you were facing at that time. So
Yes, sir. I will definitely apply it later on. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
most
much. Thank you
welcome.
so much. And is there anyone who has any question or any feedback? If you have, you are still welcome. The platform is still open. And one more thing, that in case if you missed some part of the session because of network, then don't worry, we are going to provide you with the recording as well. So you can watch it again and keep on revisiting this video so that you can contemplate over it and you can improve on your learning. So before we put this session to an end, let me share how important leadership is. In fact, today, these days, what happens that we take this word leadership very casually. In fact, most of the important things in our life, we take it very, very casually. Sometimes the idea which we have in our mind about leadership is that someone who is at top-notch position, he is considered to be a leader. Or why to become a leader? We don't want to go to politics, as Mr. Amandeep directed the session towards. So why to become a leader? We can become a normal human being and we can grow and make money and enjoy. Well, that's not the truth. If you really want to do something, you have to separate yourself from the crowd. Leadership is the feeling where people look up to you. Being a leader, it is your job to provide service and cater to the majority, cater to the crowd. And when people look up to you, well, that's the feeling. That's the feeling which you should go for, which you should crave for. You need to become a person to whom people come and take advice, to whom people look up to in times of problems. As there is a saying that a leader is not somebody who grows himself or herself. A leader is someone who is devoted in growing people. And if you become that person, believe me, you don't have to worry about your problems. Your problems will be taken care of. So you don't have to worry about anything. So leadership is all about focusing on others' problem and solving it. And while doing it, you don't have to worry about your problems. Automatically, your problems will be taken care of. Leadership is an act of service which you do to people through your words, through your wisdom, through your knowledge, through your service. As Miss Anju, what she did today, she provided us with valuable insights. So today she was our leader. We looked up to her and we learned a lot from her. And we love to learn from leader, right? And who doesn't want to be a leader? Even in your family, if there is an argument going, and if you have the ability to stand alone over there and speak and make others to agree with you, that is also called leadership. Who says you that the person who speaks from stage only he or she is considered as a leader? In your family as well, you can be a leader. In fact, in your friend circle, people are planning for something, maybe for a picnic, and you have the ability to raise your hand and put forward your ideas, and people, if they agree with your point of views, that is also called leadership. So leadership is everywhere, even in our organization where we work. We want our boss to listen to us. And how is it going to happen? When you will be a leader. Because leaders are somebody which even superiors look up to. I still remember the story of Akbar Birbal. Whenever, and I guess all of you know about it, that when Akbar used to have any problem, he always would look upon Birbal. So Birbal was an intellect. Though Akbar had that designation, he could do anything. But whenever he needed something, he always looked up to Birbal for valuable advices. Well, there Birbal was the leader. He helped Akbar to manage the entire kingdom. So always remember, wherever there is service required, leadership comes into play. And on that note, I would like to thank all of you to stay till the end. I hope this workshop has really worked for you and is really going to work for you. So after the session, I would like all of you to please share your valuable feedback in your respective group, because the speaker really does a lot more hard work. And at least this is the dakshina which she deserves. Dakshina not in the form of money, at least some valuable comments. This is our.
Our ex, our ex guru will say something.
I want to say something.
Yes, Bhavna, please.
First of all, thank you so much, ma'am and sir. You both of you, thank you so much to give us such a good knowledge and such a motivation speech. And it is my first workshop, and I enjoy it, and I love that, and I think that we should at least be our own life leader. It's such a
Absolutely.
good thing that you tell us, and I feel that we can do everything if we think very positive and we take everything positively, and we can be our own also. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much, and
Very
it's why
nice.
such a great workshop. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir.
And
Welcome, Bhavna, and very well said that if everyone would be their own leader, then believe me, the world will be paradise in itself.
and Miss Bhavna, since you took the initiative that sir, I would like to speak, it is also called leadership. This
Yeah.
is also called leadership. So well done. You have started applying the lesson. And let me invite another leader as well. I would like to call upon Mr. Asar Iqbal. So Mr. Asar Iqbal is someone who has all the quality traits which we are speaking of. Do share your valuable comments in your respective group. I'll definitely share the same with the speaker. This is the only dakshina which you could share with us, and it really means a lot.
Yes, sir. Akshay, this side, sir. Actually, I want to add something.
Yes, Akshay,
I
please.
want to, yeah, sir. As I think today's session is very helpful for me, as in my professional life, I am leading a team. So it's good for me to become a good leader so that I can avoid and as ma'am said that if you want to be a good leader, then you should have to be a leader of your own. So I think this lesson will help me a lot to enhance my skills in my professional life as well as in my personal life also.
That's really helpful, and that's a really valuable comment. And Mr. Akshay, if you could share your comment on the WhatsApp group, it will be of really great help. So I would request all of you to kindly do share your feedback, because it really means a lot. And please give dakshina to our today's leader, Miss Anju.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Thank
So
you very much, Akshay.
Welcome, ma'am.
So on that note, we have come to an end. So thank you so much everyone for your wonderful presence. Your presence really means a lot. And definitely all of you always remember that you are awesome. Thank you so much. Good night everyone. Happy weekend.
Good night, sir.
Bye everyone.
Good
Take
night,
care.
everyone. Thank